Welcome to What a Creep, the show with Margot Donahue and Sonia Mansfield talking about creeps from the past to the present.
This is your quick guide to the biggest creeps, jerks, assholes, and losers, the best of the worst.
From two nice ladies who want the world to be a little less creepy.
Welcome back to What a Creep. This is Margot Donahue, and my cohort in creepitude, as always, is the amazing Sonia Mansfield. Hey, Sonia.
Hello, my friend.
Hello, my friend. We are late in May. Sonia, it's almost summer.
It's almost here. Are you ready for hot girl summer?
Yes, indeed.
I'm ready for bad bitch summer.
We are the podcast that talks about creeps from the past to the present. Today, we are talking about actually a region of the country that has kind of a creepy history to it, which should be super duper fun. But what we normally do is one of us comes up with a creep and then the other one is tasked to come up with a non-creep. So you don't leave leading like you hate life and you hate the world. Hopefully. We'll find out. Yes. You could find us on Facebook. We have a basic Facebook page, but that's where people usually bitch about our language. We use salty language in this program. We're much more interactive in our Facebook group. You do have to answer a few questions before you enter the group. We have a lot of fun there. That's where we're, like I said, the most interactive. You can also find us on Twitter at CreepPod because somebody had What a Creep for 10 years on Twitter and never used it.
Creep.
We're on Instagram at What a Creep, and we have an old-timey email, whatacreeppodcast@gmail.com. Sonia, do you want to tell them a little bit about the website?
Yes, you can go to whatacreeppodcast.com, and it's everything you ever wanted to know about our podcast, but we're afraid to ask. It's got links to almost all of our episodes. Our first 4 seasons are behind the Patreon wall. More about that in a second. But all of our episodes are listed there with links to our sources because we source every single episode we do. We do our research. And there is a link to our merch shop where you can get tote bags and journals and what else? Face masks, all kinds of cute things with our logo. We've got a Damn It Max logo on there, stuff with our face on it, stuff that just says what a creep or don't be a creep and not a creep, all kinds of great stuff. So please do that. And do you want to tell people about our Patreon page?
Yes, we do have our 4 seasons of the show behind the Patreon wall. You go to Patreon. We have a few affordable options there. I want to thank Sherry, Sarah, Tanya, Bridget, and Marissa. Thank you all for signing up. We also have a yearly option now. We put out 2 bonus episodes a month, and we also put out a newsletter. And it just helps us with getting you'll find out all the books and movies and everything we have to go through to put the show together. And we just super duper appreciate it. But let me say this, if money is tight, just leave us a review wherever you get your podcast. That'd be amazing. And I'd like to give a shout out to someone who gave us a 5-star review. This person is Carrie Bingo Wings. She just says, thank you so much. And we're creep winners, and we really appreciate that.
Thank you. We got a 5-star review on Apple Podcasts, too. And it's from like OBBBHHHH or something like that. And they gave it a great review. So thank you. It really helps offset the 1-star reviews, usually from dudes who are like, ladies' voices make my wiener soft. And or people who are like just super conservative and are like, I get it, you hate white people. I'm like, we're white people.
Exactly.
But okay.
All right. We're not your cup of tea. Whatever.
It's fine.
It's fine. Go on with your lives.
Yeah.
All right. Sonia, we are talking about a place today. You and I both actually super love this place.
Yes.
We are talking about the destination of Santa Cruz, California. Let me just start it off with this. It is one of the most wonderful sleepy destinations in the mountains of Northern California. It is known for its boardwalk and being close to the Redwoods. Y'all, if you've never been to the Redwoods, desire to see, please, you need to see it in person. There is absolutely nothing like it in the world, and the boardwalk is freaking amazing.
Yeah, Santa Cruz is lovely. I go every year with my boy, and we walk the boardwalk. We stay at a hotel on the beach. The beach is super fun. Santa Cruz is rad. It's also got tons of
completely rad.
craft beer, delicious food. I love Santa Cruz, and at least twice a year I go down there. So that means at least twice a year I entertain the idea of moving from San Francisco to Santa Cruz.
I went to San Jose State.
Yeah.
My friend Kristen and I used to go to Santa Cruz all the time. We'd ditch school, get in a car, and go get our wine coolers. It's the 80s.
Yes.
Go up Route 17, more on Route 17 in a minute. And I did the same thing for years. I'm like, I'm just going to move here. And nowadays, because you can pretty much work anywhere, it's a lot more accessible. I mean, at the time, it was like, well, do you like real estate or tourism? No. Okay. Tough shit.
I entertain it every year. I'm like, I love it there. Love it.
There's something about it. It's really special. They have a very diverse population of over 270,000 people. There is a tension between the Mexican heritage and modern progress. That's been a part of the culture for a while. We'll get into that. Also, in the introduction, I didn't know this was so new. University of Santa Cruz, whose mascot, do you know the mascot for them?
I don't.
The banana slugs. True story.
Nice.
They've been there since 1965. That changed the youth population, as any university would do, to a region. Anyway, it changed it from like this. It used to be a sleepy summer town, and then it was kind of conservative. And then all of a sudden, hippies came in once again.
Yes.
It's the mid 60s. By the early 1970s, it was for a time known as the murder capital of the world. With several mass killers and serial rapists who preyed on the population with victims as young as 4, right up to the elderly. Yes. We're going to talk about the history of the region, the most famous crimes and creepiness of the 20th century. It's not all murder, but there is some in there. We still say visit if you get a chance. I don't want anybody from the tourism board at Santa Cruz to get mad at us.
Yes. No, we love you, Santa Cruz.
Trigger warnings for this episode: murder, for sure, sexual assault, and I'm just saying basic creepiness. And quickly going through our sources, and like she says, it's linked in our show notes. Santa Cruz Wikipedia, Herbert Mullen Wikipedia, John Lindley Fraser Wikipedia, and Edmund Kemper Wikipedia. Also, Mindhunter by Netflix, Salon.com's Ronald Reagan Shameful Legacy. Santa Cruz Waves, which is a local publication. The Murder Capital of the World by Emerson Murray. If you really want to know what happens there, I will talk about the killings in a second. He interviewed everybody. Wow. Haunted Santa Cruz by Marianne Porter. Serial Killers of Santa Cruz by Aubrey Graves. There's the show Real Time, Was Herbert Mullen Born to Kill? And Edmund Kemper. We know him from the Netflix Mindhunter series. Big Ed, they called him, 6'9". He used to read audiobooks. That was his thing. You could find a clip of him reading Flowers in the Attic.
Oh my God, the Flowers in the Attic. We need to do an episode just about V.C. Andrew books.
We will definitely. That's going to be on there. And lastly, San Jose Mercury News.
Yes.
Whew, we love our newspapers.
Yes.
Santa Cruz is both a city and it's a county. It's located 73 miles from San Francisco. That just blows my mind. I would think it was a lot more.
It's super close.
It's super close. It's in the Redwood Mountains and it's along the California Central Coast. This is what's kind of amazing about it. You have the beach and you have the woods. It's kind of surfing. They have everything there. 1987, there was the movie The Lost Boys, and it was set in the fictional location of Santa Carla, the murder capital of the world, but that was actually a stand-in for Santa Cruz. Let's begin with Santa Cruz. We'll start here, 1790. This is when Spanish ships found the Monterey Bay with peaceful inhabitants and plenty of hunting and fishing to keep the Franciscans, who talked in Spanish, happy. They were also all Catholic and Christian. They came to this place and decided to call it Santa Cruz, which stands for Holy Cross. And they strongly encouraged the indigenous people to convert to Catholicism and to work for them. And these were really nice people that were there. They didn't get a lot of pushback. You want to go, hunting and fishing with us? Cool. They created a mission, and the people were now known as neophytes or new to Christianity. The clergy that was there told them to forget your old ways. Eventually, what happens? We've talked about the Catholic Church going into parts of North America, U.S. and Canada, taking over,
yes,
telling people, I am your God now, basically.
I'm your God now.
Told them to forget their old ways and speak Spanish solely. These were the Olón people, and they soon noticed that as soon as the clergy came in and they started converting, that the weather started changing and that caused this fog to take over the area. I forgot to mention, Santa Cruz is foggy as fuck. It is
true.
You go there to hang out on the beach. My friend and I would go, and we'd get there like 9 a.m. We're like, we're going to get a great spot. Sun doesn't come out till way afternoon. And then you got a few hours.
Yeah, and then the fog rolls in at like 4 o'clock.
Yeah, exactly. And then in the wintertime, it's just fog. It's ridiculous.
That's why I love it.
I know.
I love the fog.
The neophytes were forced to help the Franciscans build a new place. Oh, also, that's also caused there were some flooding issues going on. So the Franciscans said, hey, we need to move to a higher location and force these people to create a new location. And it was called Mission Hill. In 1793, these new missions were being attacked by the Olón tribe. So not everybody converted, and the ones that didn't were watching them from the distance. Also, what was happening to the neophytes is they were getting all kinds of illnesses now from the Spanish, and the birth rates were dropping. Women who were infertile were made by the Franciscan priests to carry a wooden baby doll as their punishment. And kids who were rebellious, mostly little kids, they were beaten by priests.
This is awful.
I'm sorry. This isn't even the worst part. Sorry. Buckle up.
Do you think in this new America we're headed towards we will be forced to carry wooden babies? I mean, I have a kid, but I can't have any more kids.
No. One particularly cruel priest, was Father Andre Quintana. He took pleasure in beating kids with a lash that had thorns on it. The Olón tribe could watch from a distance but couldn't intervene. Eventually, they're at a point like, fuck this. This is too cruel. We're taking over. And they talked, this one boy in particular, they talked his mother. Her name was Fausta. Fausta. So I don't know how to say it. Fausta. He talked her into leading that priest that I just mentioned, Quintana, out in the middle of the night to give last rites to her supposedly dying husband. The father is sleeping, Father Quintana, and she's like, Padre, we need you. You got to come give the last rites. My husband's dying. And he's like, oh, right, whatever. And he starts walking along, and the tribe, the Olón people, tackle him. They strangle him. They crush his nads with their feet. They stomp his nuts, and then she cuts his nuts off. And then she burns them, and then she throws them into the San Lorenzo River.
Seems really excessive. Let's smash them and burn them and cut them off and throw them in the river.
They then put him back in his bed and then left. And the local authorities said he died of natural causes. Nobody wanted to fucking deal with it.
Oh, man. It's because bed bugs are brutal back then. They'll fucking smash your nuts and burn them and cut them off and throw them in a river. It's natural. It's natural. I know so many people who've died that way.
This is supposedly when the curse on Santa Cruz was started. Santa Cruz was officially incorporated in the 1850s. Once again, I'm saying that it's a county and a city, so I'm going to talk a little bit about other places. That in the 1850s, there are many stories about Californios, which are Mexican Americans, and then European Americans not getting along with the indigenous people there. There's lynching, there's people destroying homes, there's kidnapping. It's the Wild West, kind of literally. And there's people that said this whole place is full of bad spirits because all these cultures are clashing, and they're not respecting each other. Anyway, I just wanted you to know the background.
Yeah.
In 1908, Santa Cruz Hotel, called the Hotel McRae, which would become the inspiration for Alfred Hitchcock for his movie Psycho, One day in 1908, they were plumbing. They were like bringing up some pipes, and they unearthed an ancient Native American burial ground on the site, which supposedly woke up the evil spirits once again. It'd been a few years.